You were hospitalized in Campaña, a British sovereign base area on Cyprus. It's part of British overseas territory that falls outside of Cypriot jurisdiction. You got moved from Cuba's Little America right into Cyprus's Little Britain.
Why Campaña?
The UK and the US remain close allies. The last place Cypher would think to look for you is inside their own system. That's what kept you safe in British military hospital for 9 years. The safest place from a whale is inside its own belly. You were a regular Geppetto.
Well, it wasn't Pinocchio who led me out to safety. So who was that guy?
Cypher went so far as to attack British territory, burning their own ally. That's how badly they wanted you dead.
He said I was in a British military hospital. But the doctor had a Greek accent.
They hire locally. Easier to trust them. Campaña is also home to Greek Cypriots, after all.
What about the Turks? They haven't returned to the south.
Not yet. The Cyprus dispute is still a long way from resolved. The country is just as split as it was in '74. Turkish Cypriots in the north, Greek Cypriots in the south. Between them, the Green Line, the UN established.
And Campaña sits right on top of it.
It does. Part of the buffer zone between the two groups. Another reason it was the perfect place to hide you. Easy to spot any outsiders snooping around.
So how do things stand?
Now, last year, the Turks declared that the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus is an independent state, though it's only Turkey that recognizes it. In the past, the Greeks and Turks lived side by side in the same villages. There are reasons to fight. Those came from the outside. Greece, Turkey, Britain, America, they all had their own stake in pitting the two sides against each other. But once you spark something like this, it's impossible to control. Both sides build up grudges like debt, without the foresight to see that each act of revenge just fans the flames. And then it's too late for other nations to rush in with peace talks. The embers keep on smoldering. Each nation's arrogance only breeds anarchy. The world is paralyzed by this hunger for revenge. Cyprus is no different. You're up.
We're changing ships?
We can't go sailing the Suez in a whaler.
The Suez Canal. When did they reopen it?
Not long after you were attacked. Once they finished sweeping it for mines after the Arab-Israeli conflict. Can you stand? We're going to transfer to a container ship for passage through the Suez. Our destination is Pakistan, Afghanistan's neighbor to the south. There, we disembark and head via Peshawar to the Zero Line, the border. We'll travel to the Khyber Pass by road.
And then?
Continue on horseback. Afghanistan's main roads are under Soviet control. We'll need to go around them. It'll be all narrow, winding paths through the mountains. We'll do better on horseback. It's a local guerrilla tactic. They use the higher ridges to avoid air recons. Then they charge down the mountains for ambushes. The Soviets still haven't devised a counter-strategy. Our time frame is only half as much as we really need. It's gonna be a tough march.
Better horses than boats.
Well, it'll make for good physiotherapy. Take the time to get used to that new arm.
While the Soviets have indicated they are not participating in the Los Angeles... primarily because the United States has made no attempt to guarantee the safety of the Soviet Union's athletes. The United States is increasingly demonstrating the belief that the issue has nothing to do with its preparations, and in fact this is retaliation for the Western nations' boycott of the previous Moscow Olympics. That concludes today's news.
That's quite some news.
The Soviet Union not attending the LA Olympics? Yeah. Andropov's death has changed some things. They're calling it revenge for the Western boycott of the Moscow Olympics.
Countries boycotted the Moscow Olympics?
Yes. In protest of the Soviet Union's invasion of Afghanistan. Over 50 countries were absent. It's too bad I didn't get to see Yamashita's judo. When the 40th Army crossed the Amu River 4 years ago, détente went right out the window. The U.S. Congress chose not to ratify SALT II, and Reagan's hardline politics won in the presidency in a landslide. According to him, the Soviet Union's an evil empire.
The Second Cold War.
And there's been no end to regional conflicts and civil wars. Lebanon, the Falklands, Grenada, Iran, Iraq. The story never changes. Egypt and Israel did sign a peace treaty. But then the driving force on the Egyptian side, President Sadat, was assassinated afterward. Apparently,
You gonna extract him?
considered a betrayal of his fellow Arabs.
Islamic extremists?
Yes, fundamentalist extremists have been responsible for some bold acts of terrorism in recent years. We've had extremists...
He's coming too. Roger that.
Embassy workers hostage, and suicide bombings in Lebanon. Over 300 foreign soldiers stationed there have been killed. The countries have yet to develop an effective means of dealing with terrorism. Afraid of losing their own men, they've pulled their forces out, handing private forces a golden opportunity.
Private forces.
Small armies with no national affiliation, working for the highest bidder. That's right, they got the idea from you. After Mother Base went down, they began spreading to meet the soaring demand. Miller's organization is just one of many PFs now. The entire world is after you. But at the same time, it needs you too. Miller told me about what happened in the Caribbean 9 years ago. You do remember Miller. You'd formed a private army with him. An army with no allegiance to a nation.
I remember, but...
I see. You're not sure what's fact and what's a fantasy caused by the coma. It's still all a mess, huh? All I can do is tell you the facts as they were told to me. I've gone easy on you up until now. But this is where the hard stuff begins. 1974, the year before you entered your coma. You were in Colombia, operating with a small unit of men, basically mercenaries. Miller was among them. Miller was trying to find a way to turn his and your talents into a line of work. He was looking to start a business where you would fight on behalf of others around the world, those who needed military force. But the reality was, at that time, you didn't have enough gear to equip your own men. Then Miller came across this client. There's a huge job he was offering, but you had a shot at pulling it off. You accepted it and headed into Costa Rica. The client even threw in an offshore facility in the Caribbean. The Mother Base. That would be your new base of operations. Miller sure did have a head for business. As your mission went on, your unit grew and grew. More weapons, more money. Before you knew it, you were commanding 300 men. As the organization got bigger, your military powers swelled to match. It got so the international community couldn't afford to ignore you. You were just too damn successful for your own good. You, your men, had worn out your welcome. Everyone was out for you. East, West, First World, Third. It was only a matter of time before someone took you down. And that was XOF.
¿Qué tal, mi Timothy? Buenas noches.
Officially, they're an anti-terror unit under the CIA. In reality, they're Cypher's private strike force. They lured you to Cuba using Chico, the Nicaraguan revolutionary kid, and Paz, a mole who worked for Cypher as bait. While you were gone, XOF, posing as a nuclear inspection team, stormed Mother Base. At the same time, C4 they placed on the strut legs went off. The whole thing went down in minutes. XOF. Kisses and hugs followed by a big FU. All because of Miller's blind spot.
That's tarragon, a type of medicinal plant. It contains trace amounts of a benzodiazepine derivative that's the active ingredient in pentazimine.
Bringing the inspection team on board. Giving the enemy a perfect opportunity to hit you at home. You were returning from Cuba when it happened. Mother Base came damn close to taking you with it into the Caribbean. Those of your men out on assignment returned right away. They refused to believe the wreckage in the water they found was Mother Base. But they checked the coordinates again and again, until reality finally settled in. You were supposed to die that day. That was XOF's primary objective. As far as most folks know,
Claro.
you did. The first
No
doctor
he
to see you wasn't
estado
even
siguiendo
sure what he was
últimamente
looking
las
at.
noticias de los
Before
videojuegos,
they'd
carnal,
even
pero
finished
sí,
operating, your
me
men
gustó
moved you
mucho
to that hospital in
las madres
Cyprus.
que ha habido.
It was a woman named Eva who
Pero
arranged that.
Leon otra vez
Rings a bell, huh? Most men in your condition
otro
would have been
Resident.
written off right from the start. But you survived.
No me cae mal, me
You
gusta el
went straight
personaje,
down to hell, and they
pero
pulled you out.
me hubiera gustado,
Your
no
eye
sé,
wide open, full of venom. The days of naked Snake are long gone.
algo.
Welcome back, Venom Snake.
Leon ya va a ser un
This
pinche,
world still needs you.
más bien un mío, güey, no mames, y de por sí
Here,
el
Snake,
Resident
try
Evil
this
4
on. A prosthetic on.
ya acabó yendo a
Miller was calling it the arm that wasn't there. The physiotherapy's going well. Your arm's bulked up enough for it to fit. There. Perfect. A little time with it, and it'll work better than the real thing. What do you think? I can still feel my real arm. Well, you better get used to this one quick. You have any pain? Every now and then. Where? My fingertips. My left fingertips. Sounds like phantom pain. Your brain still remembers your old hand. Yeah. What about your vision? Can you see okay? Yeah, at the moment. The shrapnel in your skull is pressing on your optic nerve. I'm told any hard impact could have an effect on your visual cortex. Yeah, the doctor mentioned that. Your brain might process visual information incorrectly. In other words, you could have hallucinations. You might see things that aren't there, or not see things as they really are. You experience any of that? I think so. When? Right after I wake up. Colors look
ya
faded.
50
Colors, huh? Well, that's not a major concern in and of
Yo
itself.
también
But it could be
ya
the
algo
difference
mayor.
between life and death in the
La
field.
menor era Rebeca,
You need to watch out for that.
en el
Oh, well.
96 tenía
All right.
18 años,
You should continue your physio. We'll be
y es en
arriving
el
soon.
98 que es
It's the
cuando se
last
da
chance you'll get.
el primer Resident. Tiene 18 años, la mancha. ¿Qué estoy buscando? Me enseñó una emboscada.
That's the target.
Cerdos asquerosos. No me acuerdo cuál escuché de que estaban tirándole mierda a una película de Resident Evil. Que no estaba muy buena de las animadas. Yo nada más creo que he visto dos Damnation y no me acuerdo qué otra.
Subject on board. Leave the rest
Pero
away.
bueno, sí. Pero vamos a ver qué otra película de Resident Evil, güey. Y creo que el director dijo que no, ya no me he visto ningún pinche juego. Pues no mames, la van a volver a cagar por tercera vez, cabrón. Tercera pinche vez que quieren pasar el Resident, nada más no, güey. Pinche decepción, güey. La neta. Tan buenos tramas así, güey. Porque a mí la neta, la saga Mila Jovovich,
You gotta extract him.
le tengo cariño a la 1 y a la 2. De la 3 en adelante, qué pedo. Esa fue mi reacción. Qué pedo, güey. O sea, en serio. esa fue mi reacción porque, güey, o sea, no, esto no es Resident Evil, en la 3 no era Resident Evil, eres, no, no, güey, horrible. Sí, en la 2, güey, yo estaba morrillo cuando la fui a ver al cine. Me saqué de onda que Jill pudiera pelear un mano a mano con Nemesis, güey. Y no era yo de eso de que machismo y eso, ¿no? Sino que me preguntaba, a chingar, ¿cuándo peleó alguien con Nemesis a punta de vergazos? La 2 le tengo cariño porque sí, la neta, bueno, a mí me gusta mucho. La uno, perdón. Y la 2 le tengo cariño por el hype que me dio. Cuando primera vez vi el tráiler, uff, Dios de mi vida, güey. Y por ahí, güey, me puse bien intenso, güey. Perdón si estoy repitiendo aquí nada más que... No, no me molestes hasta en casa la chingada, no seas así. ¿Es en serio? Joder, no. Se me hace que vamos a ir a atacar este lugar para que nos dejen aterrizar por aquí. Una disculpa. Pero les tengo que ir a partir su madre. Hoy sí quiero hablar porque metí a esas páginas de chat de cámara y aparte que me dijeron viejo y pelón, cosa que no tiene nada de error, estoy viejo y pelón, tengo 35 años. Se lo pasan pidiéndome, dame mota, y son unos niños, y yo, no, jódete. Güey, no mames, niños en un lugar donde hay viejas que se pierden, que están drogando con cristal. El otro día también que se conectaron algunos ayer, creo, pero la neta me ganó el sueño, mano. Me ganó mucho el sueño. Nadie me vio nada. Nadie me vio nada.
Слышу прикосновение. Прием. Это КП. Понял. Будьте очень внимательны. Реагируйте на каждое движение. Конец связи.
say whether he'll survive a Fulton extraction. If you have to extract someone who's on the verge of death, you better use the chopper. But if you're gonna carry them, put them to sleep first. You won't get far if you have to fight them every step. Looks like the enemy's lost sight of you. They're gonna try to hunt you down. Their anti-air radar? It wasn't one of the targets, but that's put a hole in their air surveillance. The chopper will be able to get in close now. You can designate a landing zone near the outpost. Roger.
Where are your friends?
Part of the Mujahideen's arsenal against the Soviets is secretly supplied by the CIA. But the war continues to drag on with neither side gaining the advantage. Now, though, the CIA have started supplying the guerrillas with a new weapon. We don't know the details, but rumor has it that it could turn the tide of the war. The Soviets have heard about it, and it has them spooked. Now the Hamid Mujahideen were issued this weapon, but then they were wiped out in no time. There's no trace of fighting at their fort, and all their supplies are just sitting there. Naturally, that screams biochemical weapons, but the Soviets deny using anything that would violate the BWC. Whatever happened, the Soviets have invaded the area and are searching for this Western weapon tech. This is the CIA's worst nightmare. If that weapon falls into Soviet hands, it'll drastically rewrite the history that's being made here. But the company can't be seen entering the area. That's where we come in. Boss, head to the fort of Desmasi Laman. Find the weapon before the Soviets, and bring it back to base fast. The new weapon is codenamed Honeybee. To the U.S., it's a vital military secret.
Locate and bring back the U.S. military's new weapon codenamed Honeybee. The CIA put it in the hands of the Hamid group of Mujahideen, but the Hamid fighters were wiped out. The Honeybee must still be hidden at their base, the fort at Desmasi Laman. Unfortunately, the Soviets are looking for the weapon as well. You have to get to it before they do, and bring it back here. There's a photo of the target on your iDroid. One more thing. Apparently, one of the Hamid fighters survived. He's missing, but if you can find him, he might lead us to the target. Good luck, boss.